Caitlin Clark might be back. Aliyah Boston might be out. Justine Pissott is gone. And Stephanie White said that Damaris Dantas is a good basketball player who doesn't have to get ready because she stays ready all the time. This is all that happened today for the Indiana Fever. And we are here to talk about it. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez. Show on hit that like button, hype button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and leave your comments. I do appreciate y'all as always. So, Caitlin Clark spoke to the media today prior to tomorrow's game against or later tonight's game against the LA Sparks. And she gave an update of her condition right now. And let's take a listen to what she had to say.
Just going into this back-to-back, how are you feeling? Do you think you'll be able to play
tomorrow? Very hopeful for tomorrow. And obviously, I think it'll be difficult for me to play both this one on Wednesday and then obviously the one on Thursday, but we'll see. Not from, a health standpoint, well, obviously a health standpoint, but just getting back into it. Like I would assume I'd be on a minutes restriction tomorrow. Still hopefully a little bit over 20 if I'm able to go, and I feel like I will be. Hopefully as practice goes well today, and just with it being a back-to-back, it's obviously kind of tough to get back into it, but then, hopefully feel good after the game versus LA and then be available in Vegas and then feel pretty positive going from there once we get back home as well. But feeling great. Everything's been good up until this point, and hopefully have another great day of practice and be ready for tomorrow.
Well, honestly, that concerns me. It does. Because minutes restriction. We're gonna restrict her minutes now. For what? She hasn't played in 10 days. Are they really gonna put her on some ridiculous 20 minutes in the game restriction tomorrow or tonight against the Sparks if she's able to go? Injury report has her listed as probable, so it's expected that she should be playing tonight against the Sparks. But then automatically saying, well, probably not against the Mercury in Phoenix. Now, I'd love to see her play against Phoenix. I understand why you would keep her out of that game because you can expect that Alyssa Thomas will be looking to take her head off again, or DeWanna Bonner will want to start some crap again. And you do have concerns on, God forbid they do something that causes her back to go out of whack again. But I also want to see her bust their asses. So yeah, my selfishness wants me to see her play. This whole mentality that we can't do back-to-back basketball games is just wild to me, but then potentially play against Vegas. So it's not like she's not going to be able to go against Phoenix. It seems like it'll be more of a decision. So listen, if she plays tomorrow night, we will have a post-game reaction. If she doesn't, we will still be on boycott alert. If she plays against Phoenix, we will have a post-game reaction. If she doesn't, well, we will probably be on another boycott because I am not watching games that she doesn't play in. I just do not care to watch this team play without her. It's just the way I feel. Sue me. It is what it is. Let's listen to what else she had to say.
Just how helpful were those 8 days off that you guys had last week just to rest and to have some practice?
It feels kind of weird. Like, honestly, like it's like you play for like 2 weeks straight. I think we had like 5 games and 8 days or whatever it was. And you get so in a groove of, going from scout to scout and, knowing what people are going to do. And then you have some time off and you're back to like, it kind of has that training camp feel and get back into the swing of things. I thought obviously everybody came out and played really well versus Vegas. And, this is a long trip for us, 11 days. You have to keep building and finding ways to win. But, even for myself, obviously having missed the 2 games, it feels even longer. Like I've had this really long break, but at the same time, get your body right and then your mind right and get back into it.
How's the team bonding been? What are you learning about this iteration of the
team? It's been fun. Like we went to Nobu last night in Malibu. Like we just find fun things to do. And when you're on the road for 10 days, you better like each other and find things to do, or else it'll be a really long trip. And lucky enough, we have a great group. And it's been fun to spend time with everybody. And spend some time at the tables in Vegas. I'm down. So, but the good thing is we're going back, so you can get even or get even worse.
What do you play?
I like blackjack and roulette. Yeah, Black 22 hasn't hit yet, but I'm feeling confident going back there that it might hit. But no, it's been fun to be around everybody. Obviously, a great group of people, and it makes playing basketball with them every day a lot more fun as well.
How about we keep her away from the gambling tables? We don't need to have her losing money. But yeah, obviously it's great that the team is having some bonding moments and stuff like that. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously becomes a grind, especially like when you're not in practice as much. Obviously, I've been able to be in a good amount of practice last week and stuff. So, sometimes it's hard when you don't get to play the game, and takes some mental resiliency. And I think for me, like even watching the Vegas game, like that's a game I could learn a lot from when we're going to go back there on this road trip and play them again. And but I think just pouring into my teammates the best I can, being as good a teammate as I can be, and being their biggest fan on the bench and supporting them in whatever way. And then, I get to get back out there. So staying positive with that too.
Yeah. And with that too, just kind of the different perspective that you have on the bench when you're watching your team.
Yeah.
What are those things that really stand out that they do really well?
Yeah. I mean, I think our defense was really good in the last game. And obviously that was the focus for a week of practice, is just really guarding and being physical and taking away what they want to do. I thought we did a really good job of that. I thought we did a great job on offense of, the things that worked. We continued to go to them. We didn't go away from them. I thought that was good. I thought, when we were able to build that 10-point lead, they had that little mini run at the beginning of the fourth, but then we kind of, extended it there and didn't let them back in the game. So I thought those were the few things that we did really well, and just got to continue to build. Obviously, LA has some really talented players too. So we need be well there. And then obviously this will be our first back-to-back of the season, and that presents a totally different mental challenge as well. So going into that, we'll need to be mentally tough more than anything. Perfect. Oh, go ahead.
Now also Kelsey Plum is still out. Cam Brink is still listed as out. So they are going to be without two of their top six. Obviously their best player will not be playing. So without Kelsey Plum, the Fever should roll in this game. They should not have any trouble against a Sparks team without Kelsey Plum and Cam Brink. So you want to deal with the shot blocker, you want to deal with their best scoring option. So it shouldn't be a tough game for this team to win, realistically.
I was just going to ask, with this back injury too, is it the same thing or the same issues that kind of cropped up in training camp, or is it something that kind of popped up?
I think it's just like when you have like some back stiffness and things like that, it can affect a lot of other areas of your body. So being able to control it and manage it the best you can. But I think overall, like, I feel good about the stuff we're doing to help with it. Obviously, it's not always fun sitting on a plane for 4 hours and traveling a lot. I think like sometimes that's not what people always really realize. It's like it's hard on your body to travel and be on the road for 10 days and sleeping in different hotels and things like that. But I know I'm doing everything I can to be as healthy as possible. I really trust the people behind me that are helping me. And like I said, I feel good, especially going into tomorrow. Controversial.
Okay, now she said that, right, about the travel, the problem with the back. Now I have the question. I have the true question. Why are you in Vegas? This is the thing that goes on with Caitlin Clark that I don't like and I don't get and I don't understand. You are dealing with rehab. You were never going to play against Vegas in that first game. Why would you travel with this team to Las Vegas? It was unnecessary. Realistically, it was completely unnecessary. You could have continued to rehab in Indiana and then flown over for this game. You fly over, what's today? Today is Tuesday. We're going into Wednesday. You fly over Monday. Why would she travel with the team to Vegas, then travel again with the team to LA? Like, this is what I'm talking about with how this team operates. It's from a level of complete, I don't even understand it at this point. They're so worried about her signing autographs that they forget that the reality is her health. You're on a plane. Your back gets stiff on a plane. She's got back issues. These back issues are not going away. I hope they go away at some point. I hope this is not something she deals with for the rest of her life. But why would you travel with the team if you knew you weren't going to play? And then, like, it doesn't make sense, man. This is the same thing I talked about last year when she was rehabbing and traveling to every road game. You don't need to be at road games. If you're not playing, why are you there? If you're in rehab, why are you not staying at home? I know it's different. The WNBA might be different. Your health is the most important thing. So let's jump into what Stephanie White had to say. Justine Pissott is gone. She was signed by the Las Vegas Aces. And that's obviously something big here because the Fever did draft Justine Pissott. And it's kind of embarrassing that you draft somebody at 6'4" in a position that you need. And instead of her ever getting an opportunity to get on the floor, she never did. Not once. Didn't play one singular game. You've had injuries. She couldn't get in for one singular game. A position, a stretch 4, shoots the 3. And yet you got Damaris Dantas on this roster. You've got who else? What other person on this roster? I mean, you've got people on this Grace Van Sluten on this roster. What are we talking about, man? This is silly, bro. So here she's gone. She's going to be with the Aces now. And now the Fever don't have any option for a stretch 4. Now, we don't know if Justine Pissott would have been any good. We don't know. We don't know, but the frustration is that she never got an opportunity to get on that court. Not once. And that's the true issue, man. She never got an opportunity. So let's jump in on Stephanie White right here and listen to what she had to say. Let's go right here.
To open up a roster spot. I think that's the great thing about these development spots, and the challenging thing about these development spots is that you have opportunity to develop players, feeling like we have the ability to open up a roster spot. I think that's the great thing about these development spots, and the challenging thing about these development spots is that you have opportunity to develop players. And then when they get an opportunity to get a standard contract, much in the same way when we brought Grace on, this is what it's meant for, to continue to advance opportunity for players and to continue to keep them ready when their opportunity presents itself.
What has it been like just to navigate the developmental pool kind of on this side of things with it being the first year?
Yeah, I think we're just all still trying to figure it out, what it looks like. Certainly we were in a position a season ago where it would have been nice to have players that you can activate and have ready. And fortunately, for the most part, collectively, we haven't had that opportunity this year. So I think we're still all trying to figure it out. It's in a perfect world, we eventually get to where they're either full roster spots or we have a quote unquote G League like, opportunity for us as we continue to build out our league. But again, I think it's a great opportunity to keep players ready. If you need them and if other teams need them as well.
You obviously mentioned Grace coming on a standard contract, and with Damaris Dantas too. What do you like about them kind of near the end of the bench too? Besides the people?
Well, I think first and foremost, great culture players. Great culture teammates. They're going to continue to be ready when their number's called. Grace is a young player who I think can really develop into a solid 4 in this league. Dee Dee's a veteran who understands how to stay ready so she doesn't have to get ready. Who we can play.
What are we talking about? Grace Van Sluten, who you didn't draft, who you picked up from somebody else, who plays the same position as Pissott, is a great young player who can develop into a great 4. And what are you talking about? You had that. You drafted one who actually provides something you need, which is a stretch 4, someone who can actually shoot the rock, someone that fits, presumably the way Caitlin Clark plays. All we don't know, but she shot the ball well in college. And Dantas stays ready. She might be the worst player on your team. She is the worst player on your team. She's useless. She shouldn't have ever been resigned. Culture players? This is corny coach speak garbage.
In certain lineups and certain matchups, who are going to give us great minutes.
Certain lineups and certain matchups give you great minutes. You don't play them. So what matchup is a great matchup?
It's in practice certainly as well, and who are going to help continue to evaluate and build and pour into our culture.
How's the team bonding experience been the last week? What are you guys learning about each other? What'd you say?
I don't care about the rest of this, man. I don't care what else she has to say. It's ridiculous. So this is typical Stephanie White coach speak garbage. They don't keep Pissott for whatever reason. They drafted her. The GM liked her apparently, and the coach doesn't like her. That's what it is. That's what it is. She doesn't like her. And also, like I said, Aliyah Boston's now listed as questionable on the injury report. This is as of midnight tonight. She's listed as questionable. Right leg, lower leg. Is this the same injury she's dealt with all year? Who the hell knows? So she might not play. We'll find out. Tomorrow night they play 10 p.m. or tonight they play 10 p.m. Eastern time. If Caitlin Clark runs, we will be there. We will be watching. If she doesn't, we won't. But if she does, you know where to be after the game. Boom, right here. Let's go. Appreciate y'all. This is Indiana Fever Unfiltered. Like, subscribe, follow, hype the video. Leave your comments. Powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.